How will today's Excel tip enhance your data analysis? Join us in this detailed tutorial from our expert trainer who walks you through each step. Let's get started.
Now in this lesson, we're going to talk about tables. Now tables are going to allow us to do formatting and then some in a much more quick way and a much more efficient way. But in addition to formatting, we're also going to use these F words. We're going to talk about formatting, and we're going to talk about formulas, functions, as well as filters, and also freezing panes. Now these are the 5 F words that I associate with tables. So let's just see how we can apply tables first of all. Now your process is very simple. All we do is click anywhere inside of your data set. And I'd like this whole grouping of data to become a table so I can format it very quickly and easily. So very simply, all I do is click anywhere inside there. I'm going to go over here to my Home tab, and you'll see that right there in the middle is Format as Table. I click on my drop down, and you'll notice a whole bunch of preset formats come up. And when I apply it, you're going to see it's going to apply it to the whole table. And notice my little marching ants pop up here. It also shows me A1 through F5. It's applying it to that whole data set. And again, notice I didn't have to highlight everything. Don't waste your time by doing that. Excel is pretty smart by knowing the beginning and the end of the data set. You'll also notice that I have this little checkbox that says my table has headers. And that's going to be very important because we want our headers to look a little bit different, to make them look important. You want there to be a little bit of a hierarchy. So I simply click OK, and you can see just like that now, I've got a very different set of data. You'll see how it's formatted in this very nice way. My headers look very important. You'll see here how they're bold, it's white, I've got this blue background there, and I've also got this nice little border underneath it. Really neat. Let's apply that to another one. I just simply click anywhere. I'm going to choose Format as Table, and now I'll choose a different color. Go there, click OK, and just like that, I've got a very different look and feel. Click on this one, and very quickly, I'll just choose now green, click OK, and love that. So you see, it's really easy just to apply our first F word, which is just formatting. But now let's say you don't like these. You want to go to a different one altogether. It's like, oh man, I missed my turn. Well, the good news is it's just as easy to create a table as it is. Now the good news is it's just as easy to modify a table as it is to create a table. So what I'm going to do this time? Well, I'm going to click anywhere inside my data set, and you'll notice that there is a tab that did not exist before called Table Design. See that up here? If I click away, that tab now disappears. I click back on there, the tab reappears. This is known as a contextual tab. Based on the context of what I've clicked on, new options now appear. Again, I click away, no table design, I click back on it, I see table design, and now it's going to give me a whole bunch of formatting options as well as additional F word options. So I have my table styles, and what I'm going to do this time is click on this little drop down to see all of these preset styles, and I'm not sure what I want. So what I'll do is just simply mouse over to see all my choices, just kind of browsing around, see what might be the thing I want. Oh, I kind of like that. Now, you know what? I'll go back to something a little more plain. All right, I like that, and I'm good to go. Let's go ahead and try that with a different one. I click here, and I'll just mouse over this one. Pretty cool. I like that one. Come over to here, and let's just try one more. Let's go to one of these darker ones down below, and there you go. And there you have it. All right. Now, super easy to apply that. But there might be certain things, certain elements, and certain properties you're still not happy with. So let's go back up to this top one, and I'll go back over to here to my Table Design Contextual tab. And this time, we're going to work in this section right here, where we have a bunch of checkboxes. Checkboxes essentially mean yes or no. Do you want this thing or not? Let's start off with banded rows and banded columns. Banded rows and banded columns just mean that you're going to have alternating colors of rows, or you're going to have alternating colors of columns. Really just depends on your data. So what I'm going to do now is, again, simply click inside this table, and I'm going to uncheck banded rows. Because some of you may have said, you know what, I don't really like having that banded row look. You can very, very easily turn it off. Okay, turn that off. Let's come over to here, do the same thing. Come down here one more time. But now for this one, I wouldn't mind actually having banded columns. So let's try banded columns for this one. Okay, yeah, kind of like that. Now, there's no right or wrong. It's really up to you, and then sometimes your data will dictate that. But what I want you to notice is that as I turn these on and off on my data set, my choices also reflect what's showing here. So if I uncheck that, take a look in the right-hand side with my table styles, and you will see how it does, in fact, reflect what I've chosen there. Pretty neat. Now let's talk about one last part of formatting, and that's going to be this section, this first column and last column. All that is saying is, would you like your first column to look like a heading? Do you want that to stand out and be more important? So let's try that. I say first column, and just like that, it's added on a black background. It's made these numbers in bold and in white, saving me a lot of time and a lot of clicks. All right, let's go ahead and try last column. You can see that. Very, very easily, you can make it look like a heading. I'm going to keep that off, but I want you to know how easy that is. Now, yours may not look exactly like mine. It just depends on which table style you choose. I choose that one. And notice that for this one, all I did was make it bold. It really all just depends on the style. So if I override that, now that gets a fill background there. Okay, so again, up to you, but also determined by the styles themselves. Now let's move on to our next F words, which is going to be formulas and functions. Because sometimes you just want to add some stuff up. Some of us, we're not comfortable and we're not familiar with working with formulas. The good news is tables have them built in automatically. So watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to simply choose inside of my table, come over here to total row, and just simply click on that checkbox, and you'll see a new row now appears. I didn't have to type anything out. I did not have to insert a row, but you'll see here it says total. And then I like to add up my sales column. So when I click here, you'll notice that this little drop down now appears, giving me all kinds of totaling options. Average, count, max, minimum. Oh, there's some. Great. I click on that and you see how it just added it up. Let's try count for this one. Click on my drop down, choose count. Beautiful. Click on this one. I'll try average this time. Look how amazing that is. No formula needed whatsoever. Let's do that for these guys. Click on that, add on a total row, come to here, add on a total row, and I'm pretty much good to go. All right, now let's just do one quick thing for this one so I can give you a nice little precursor for what we're going to do in a future lesson called autofill. Because what I'd like to do is have all of these have a sum, but I don't want to have to do it one by one. So I will click on this here, wait for my drop down, choose sum, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mouse right on that little green box there. So I get this little black plus sign and just simply click and drag across, and you'll see now I've done autofill. Okay, so I started off doing my sum here, and then using this little guy right there, I did autofill. We're going to do a whole lesson on that, and we're going to see all the different uses for autofill in a little bit, but I want to just get that out of the way so you have a nice little tool to work with as you're working with tables. Okay, now some of you may be wondering, well, you know what? This is really nice for small data sets. What about large data sets? So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to move over here to a new tab called Large Data Set. And you're going to see this huge amount of data. Wow, very intimidating. Well, it's no match for tables. So all I'm going to do now is just simply click anywhere inside there. I'm going to say Format as Table. And then very simply, I'm going to choose this one. Once again, I simply click OK, and voila. There you go. But you know what? I'm going to override this one to not have banded rows, but to have banded columns. And I really like that. Now, if you are curious about what some of these other elements are, you're going to see here, I have these little top little graphics here. This is known as a filter. If you don't like those, you can go ahead and turn those on and off. Really up to you. We're going to be talking about filters in an upcoming lesson, but if you're already familiar with filters, know that Tables gives them to you right off the bat, totally for free without having to do anything at all. But if you don't like them, you can go ahead and turn them off. Now, I did provide some other tabs here for you to practice. Please go ahead and practice on those to be able to see if you can do it on your own. Now, one last thing before we leave the topic of tables, I want to show you how we can create a new table from scratch. Because so far what I've shown you is how we can convert pre-existing data to a table. Well, what I'm going to do now is just very simply start off with an empty cell and making that into a table. So I'm going to say Format as a Table, and this time I'm going to do this black and gray one. I'm going to say my table has headers, the same thing. Now, not a whole lot happens here. You can see here I have column 1, and I'm going to very simply just type this out. I'm going to say first name, and I'm going to hit the tab key, and then click over here right next to it. I'm going to say last name, and now I'm going to hit tab, and I'll say city, tab, and I'll say state, tab, and I'll say zip, and then this time I'm going to hit enter. And now I'm going to come back to the beginning, and then I'm just going to type out Dave Smith SF CA 94109. And now watch this now as I hit enter. It's now going to continue the table automatically. So I'll just go ahead and just say Helen Jones. She lives in Daly City, also California, and then 94234. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this little character right there. You see that? That's telling me where the end of the table is. So I know that this table is going to continue automatically. Well, guess what? I forgot to put in a column for the email. So I'm going to come over here to F1 and just simply type out email. And I'm going to hit enter this time and watch what happens. It automatically continues on the table. Again, taking a look at that little graphic that's telling me that my table then ends at this place. So tables essentially love company. It says, welcome to the community. You want to continue to grow either with columns or with rows. It is absolutely extraordinary. So once you start working with tables, it's very hard to go back. It really allows you to have automation around so much, particularly in formatting, but eventually maybe you'll start talking about filters and also formulas, and we'll look at that maybe in subsequent lessons as well. All right, so practice at least this at this point, looking at how we can format using tables and also continuing adding on more data, more rows, more columns, etc.
What was your favorite part of this tutorial? We would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Visit the Simon Says It channel, explore our videos and training sessions, and decide what you want to learn next.